Hey guys, so with everything being closed from church to school to gyms, if for those of you who have kids in a martial arts, like I did, particularly our kids were in Jiu-Jitsu. I know a lot of my friends on Facebook have their kids in Jiu-Jitsu. I was just going to tell you what we're doing at home and to help keep my kids still Jiu-Jitsu minded, motivated, not forgetting anything. And these are implementing some of the things that when I used to teach the kids Jiu-Jitsu, say hey.
Hi.
Okay, go get that ball. The kids Jiu-Jitsu in North Carolina, here's some of the things that I did was in the classroom that you can still do at home. So I'm just going to throw some ideas at you guys and you can do them however you see fit. We live in an RV full time, so it's not like we have a jiu-jitsu mat or a carpeted room where we can do this at. But we do have a field of grass right behind us. We have a golf course. We live like right off of the golf course. So the kids kind of like go in the grass to do some of these. Some of these can be done in your basement, or if you are lucky enough to have jiu-jitsu mats at home or any type of a soft flooring, these can be done, but some of them you don't even have to have. You can do them anywhere. So the first thing I was going to tell you guys is to, if your kids are being homeschooled and they need a break, do some of these, throw some of these things in between for like recess time break, just to keep your kids in the mindset of jiu-jitsu, and so that when they get back to school, they're not, or to the gym, they're not lagging behind in anything. So one thing that I did with the kids that they loved was called Simon Says position. So I would be Simon, and you could, you have fun with it. Mommy says, daddy says, whatever. Simon says position, and I will say a position. And this works if you have multiple kids, and if you don't have multiple kids where they can do this on with each other, you can have them do it if they have the big teddy bear at home, or do them right on, you. So you say, and you can make it fun, like if I don't say Simon Says and you do it, I win. So Simon Says, you can do Simon Says mount, and make sure they have a good mount position. Good, Simon Says in guard. So in guard, just one second. Sorry, my son was doing science and I had to help. If they're in guard, just make sure that you have your legs wrapped around them, but what we're looking for is a good guard position to where they're postured up. They're just not being lazy, hands on the hips, not on the mat. Simon Says back control, so you want to make sure that they're on your back, have both the hooks in, that they're not crossing their feet, and that they have a good seatbelt position. If you have been watching Jiu-Jitsu at any period of time, I know you'll know what a seatbelt position, but that's basically one arm underneath your arm, another arm over your shoulder, and they have a good, we call it a seatbelt position because that is where your seatbelt would be. Simon Says good side control. We just went over side control in our gym, but if you don't know side control, your kid should, if he's been in Jiu-Jitsu any period of time, know a good side control position. If you have any questions, there is a myriad of videos on YouTube and Google that will show you a good side control position or any position that you are in question about. So we have Simon Says mount, Simon Says in guard, Simon Says side control, Simon says back control, and then if however far along your child is, you can do this to any moves. So Simon control, do this move. Simon control, do this move. Do this move. Oh, I didn't say Simon control. Simon, do this move. I win. Make it fun for your kids. Don't really try to make this fun, and don't make it like where you're getting hard, down on your kids. Try to keep it as fun and light as possible so that they want to do this over and over again. Another thing that I used to do with the kids was we always want to work on proper sprawling, and a lot of the kids kind of, it's such an easy concept, but this is a time to work with your kids to make sure that they're doing proper sprawling. So what I would do with the kids is I would say, we called it head and shoulder, knees and toes sprawl. So I would say a certain body part and they had to touch it. I would speed it up, go slow. I try to trick them like shoulders, touch your shoulders, knees, touch your knees, chin, touch your chin, head. And then I pretend to point to my ears, but I said head, and just making it fun. But when I said sprawl, they had to sprawl, and they had to do a proper sprawl. So we've been teaching the kids, hands down, I used to tell my kids, sprawl with these, not with knees. A lot of kids nowadays don't really have a problem. They got the concept of sprawling on your hips. Just make sure that when you're sprawling to the front side of one hip, that if I'm going to sprawl to this hip, this leg isn't coming through to the bottom, okay? Keeping your legs straight out when you're sprawling too. 1 second. So that's fun for them. Another thing is have your kids teach you a position. So this is really good. I have a degree in teaching. When your kids actually can teach something, that reinforces that movement, that concept in their brains. So have your kids teach you a few moves. That will in turn help them. Work with your kids on the beginning exercises that you see them doing in class. So say, okay, we're going to go outside and we're going to do front rolls. Make sure that your head's leaning to the side and you're rolling over your shoulder. Okay, back rolls. Let's do sprawls. Let's do shots, things like that. And just make sure that your kid is doing them properly. I'm sure if you've been watching them in class, you've been watching the instructors tell your kids how to do them properly. And now you can have one-on-one time that you can help your child so that when they get back to the gym, they're not back a few weeks, right? That they're coming in and they are ready to progress from right where they left off. Another one is, I didn't really have a name for this one. But basically, you and your child, or your child and another child, will stand at a fighting stance, facing towards each other, and they're going to touch their knee. So trying to touch the other opponent's knee. If they do touch the knee, that person has to, oh my film's gonna end, darn it. That person has to sprawl. Again, make sure that they're sprawling correctly. So the person who touches the knees the most, say, okay, we're gonna go up to 5 points, okay? So if you can touch the other person's knee 5 times, you win. Just make sure that if their knee gets touched, that they are sprawling. Does that make sense? Okay, I might have to stop this video and delete some videos and then I'll restart it. Another one is called 10 We End. It's basically your kid is earning points for every for every submission or sweep they are doing from a certain position. Once you get to 10 points, that's the end for the day. Then you can go on the next day and do it. For example, tell your child to get into mount, and then from mount, they earn 1 point for every sweep or submission they can show you from the mount position. Say they earn 3, they're gonna go to side control. What submission can they do from side control? Let's talk about in guard. So finally, when they get to 10, or if your child is getting bored with this, they can do less than 10. Then it's the end, and we stop that activity for the day. Next is I would talk to your kids about just kind of the things that Jiu-Jitsu stands for other than the martial art aspects, like the moves, the submissions. Talk about respect, loyalty, and things like that can open conversations between you and your kids about just the what Jiu-Jitsu is as far as character. This is a great time to talk to your kids and about those things, about how they should act in class, how they should act to their coaches, to their parents, to their teachers. I think we're all getting a high level of respect for our teachers now that we're homeschooling our kids. So now's the time to talk to your kids about that. Another one is name this move. So I was working on getting this all typed out, and I really haven't had a chance to do that yet. But name this move is basically if you get on Google and you say, okay, you as a parent, don't tell your child what you're looking at, but like step by step how to armbar. So then read your kid the list, your kids. This would work great with me because I have 3 boys. A list on, okay, step 1, start from this position. Step 2, we go to this position. Step 3, and whichever child can name that, whatever you're describing, if it's an armbar, if it's an Americana, if it's a sweep, a flower sweep, they're picturing it in their heads and they're able to tell you what move it is. They get 1 point. You could say, okay, first child to 5 wins. So this is just great for them to visualize the moves in their head, to be able to tell you exactly what you're describing. Name that move. Another fun thing that you could do with some of the smaller kids, just to keep them jiu-jitsu minded, is have them sit down and design their own gi. You could have them sit down and design their own patch, get creative, get out the construction paper, glitter, whatever, design their own patch, name their own school. And another thing that I've done is just something that's fun, again, not really like with the techniques and moves, but just keeping them jiu-jitsu minded, is doing the jiu-jitsu word search. So I have created a jiu-jitsu word search, and I will put it down below. I'll put the link and I'll put the printout just so you can just click on it and print it out. It's just got a simple set of some of the moves that we do, and they can just do a word search. So I hope this helps you keep your kids in the martial arts mindset so that when they come back, they are ready, they're excited, they haven't lost anything. And again, I think this will help you too as a parent to really get a chance to go through these things that your kids are doing in the gym and give you a better idea of how to help your children at home if they would ever need it when they go back to the gym. So I hope you guys have fun with this. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. Bye!